In 2006, I was around 11 years old, and man, it feels like such a long time ago. But at the time, I was a very impressionable kid. I would watch lots of Family Guy and think it was the funniest thing in the world. YouTube was exploding with all types of new content. There were lots of cat videos and file sensations across the world. And I used to even have a Motorola flip phone that I would Bluetooth viral videos onto through my friends. Good times. This year though, my dad took my brother and me to go see Casino Royale, and on top of being an incredible top tier James Bond film, seeing Daniel Craig getting out of the sea in incredible shape. Even though I was only 11, I wanted to look just like that. I started doing press-ups, running around, trying to do parkour and failing a lot. I wanted to be a big beefcake and wanted to be ripped so badly. I wanted to look like him so much. I even considered dyeing my hair blonde. Seeing him in that film was my fitness objective for a long time. And when I started actually going to gym religiously, I started eating lots of protein and gaining mass. I started doing more arm workouts. Since then, my perspective has changed quite a bit. Rather than looking at fitness as a way to look a certain way, I see it as a way to become a different but also a better person. Nowadays, my fitness routines and practices, I'm looking for a couple things. How I can improve my energy, my mood, my mindset, mobility, posture, cardio, and strength. And this is a lot more substantial than compared to just a jacked body. It seems that if we prioritize the wrong aspect of fitness, it becomes even harder to make progress. Today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of overlooked factors in terms of fitness and diet, with reference to the fitness mindset by Brian Keane, and also the stuff that has worked for me. Just a little disclaimer, I'm not a professional. I'm speaking from my personal experience and what has worked for me. I'm not here to con you guys like that V-Shred influencer who makes all of his money from misleading people. Anyways, let's begin. Now this is the first point, and this is the fatty acids, or the omega-3s as they're known. I think this is an often undervalued part of diet. Like when we think of food, we think of the protein, we think of the carbs. When do we ever think about the fats? Like literally never. It turns out omega-3 fats are incredibly useful. There's been a bunch of research on the fatty acid that has reported that if taken consistently can help with cognitive function and things like memory effectiveness. When I was a little kid, my mum before school would give me this spoonful of this disgusting fish oil. It literally tasted like shit. Luckily nowadays you don't have to do that. Omega-3 can be found in fish like salmon, nuts like almonds, seeds like chia seeds, oils like flaxseed. And what I tend to do in the morning is put some flaxseed on my porridge and chuck in some mixed nuts, maybe have some sugar-free sweetener and put in a couple of raisins. Yeah, just keep it like nice and simple. Next point, sleep. Now, sleep is so important. The best thing about sleep is that it's the most fundamental way for your body and mind to sync up and recuperate. There have most likely been times when you have been tired. Maybe you've got an important meeting the next day where an executive decision needs to be made. You've probably been told to sleep on it by multiple people. The same with illness. The doctor usually prescribes you lots of rest before you go on any serious medication. So before we go on, what is sleep?
I'll do you one better. Why is...
Well, sleep is fairly simple actually, but at the same time it's quite hard to pinpoint. There are basically two types of sleep. There is shallow sleep, and then there's REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. REM dream sleep is triggered 90 minutes after falling asleep. You should have around 4 or more REM cycles during an average sleep session. It can lead to very high quality, and if not interrupted, can lead you having a really good night's rest. Even though there are countless apps on sleep though, I do find it quite difficult to 100% guarantee a good night's sleep. Sleep length, according to the founder of BioHealth Diagnostics in San Diego, Reed Davis, according to him, going to bed by 10:30 latest and getting the full 8 hours sleep is critical. This is because of something called the circadian rhythm, or the body clock in our biology. This is where our bodies react to external factors in our lives, like it being daytime or nighttime, or if we're exposed to sunlight. For myself, I try to aim for 9:30 to 10 p.m. as a bedtime curfew, but on the weekends I'm slightly more relaxed, but I still aim for the same time. Also, you want to be careful with things that you consume, like caffeine, for example. And the problem with caffeine is that people can be dependent on it. Like, it's sometimes used as a substitute for sleep, which I've been guilty in the past of doing as well. But you should always treat sleep as a cure for fatigue. Sleep isn't like a bank account that you can top up on the weekends and catch up on. It affects you continually. Another thing that can affect sleep could be eating lots of food before bed, because its ability to affect basic sleeping functions. And we all know that sleep is an essential function for rest and recovery, but there are so many variables to it. For instance, you could have the best mindset in the world, but if you have a rubbish day at work, I do recognize your brain is probably still going to be thinking about it, maybe when your head hits the pillow. And to add to that, if you're a parent or a shift worker, your patterns of sleep could be all over the place. So it's fair to say that some lifestyles aren't made for traditional sleep. But what I have learned is that you have to try and keep it simple. Go to bed same time every day, even on the weekends. Don't eat a massive amount of food before bed. Avoid caffeine in the evening. Now we are moving on to the big one. And now with the third and final point, this is drinking lots of water. I don't follow football personally, so I'm sorry to football fans. I'm not a big football supporter. But there is this clip of Cristiano Ronaldo at the Euro 2020 press conference, which I personally think has become legendary beyond the meme. Coca-Cola was a sponsor for the Euros, and there were two very obvious Coca-Cola bottles in front of him, and he just pushes them to one side. He literally then picks up a water bottle and then shows it to the camera. And this costs Coca-Cola $4 billion in market price. And that is huge. Now, you're probably asking me, what has this got to do with water? Obviously, I'm not here to talk about marketing blunders. The thing is that hydration is key to maintaining fitness. Your muscles are made of something like 70% water, and your brains are actually 95%, which is insane. According to Keane in his book, a 2% drop in body water can cause a small shrinkage of the brain, affecting brain functions like concentration and focus. It also, as you've probably guessed, it does affect the muscles, making it harder to run or walk for extended periods of time. The recommendation is 2 to 3 litres a day for women and 3 to 4 litres a day for men. This does depend on your fitness routines though. I train 5 to 6 times a week, so I most likely drink more, considerably more than someone who goes 2 to 3 times a week to the gym, or maybe not at all. A little tip for hydration is that maybe every time you check your phone, you have a reminder on there to sip water. Maybe you should have a water bottle on your bedside table, so the first thing you do when you wake up is drink water. That's actually what I do. We all know that our habits dictate our behaviors and our actions, so it makes sense to refine these as much as you can. Anyway guys, I hope that you like this video. It gave a little insight into what I do regularly in terms of my fitness and my health. Not a lot about the exercise side of things, but maybe we can come to that at some point. But I hope you do share this and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.